Thank you so much for joining us for another edition of All Angles. I'm Dion Jackson, and a very special welcome to our viewers on onespotmedia.com. So, is there a point at which artistic expression should stop or be reined in, and responsibility to society and country should start? Is there a line there, and one we shouldn't cross, and are we crossing it? We're going to be talking about those issues today, and joining us in studio we have Agostina Pinnock, public commentator. We also have with us Colin Hines, music director at the RGR Gleaner Communications Group, and Kamal Banki with us as well, director of Exodus and Dream Weekend. First though, TVJ's Vashon Brown has this overview.
The money, the fame, no mean nothing to me. If you are free, one I'm a brother, then you want for free me. After all, dog, and that's how we had panacall.
It's the video many people have been looking up online. Alkaline's music video titled After All. It has come in for scrutiny as men in police uniform are seen carrying M16 rifles and handguns. A woman wearing a police uniform is also seen in the video. The Criminal Investigation Branch, CIB, is collecting statements to determine whether charges are to be laid against the producers of the video. Detectives have since questioned the artiste, and a file will be submitted to the Director of Public Prosecution's DPP. In terms of the internal investigation, the police officers identified in the video have provided written statements. But the video has led to discussions about freedom of expression. More conversation about free speech too, when Tanya Stevens commented on the departure of Portia Simpson Miller from representational politics. She wrote on Facebook, "Hearing people lament Portia's departure is like seeing people congratulate my rapist for being a good man. She isn't a good person." She added, "Besides unqualified and an embarrassing representation who wasn't even of average intelligence as per her public displays, she was an awful apathetic human who perfected the art of pandering to the hypocrisy of Jamaicans. I'm happy to see her back. I'm not alone. Good riddance." The criticisms were swift. Sheldon on Facebook said, "Who named Tanya Stevens again?" Canil said, "Me lose off of Tanya Stevens. Every day she open her mouth. And more so after I read what she wrote about Sister P's tenure in office." Kamala said, "The comments towards Mrs. Simpson Miller from Tanya Stevens speak volumes about some of us who call ourselves women who can only undermine, ridicule, and disrespect." She added, "No one is saying for a moment that anyone has to like Portia Simpson Miller, but even in her moment of stepping away from politics, the hatred is so strong." The other topic of controversy within the past few days, crime. Specifically, the suggestion to take crime off the front pages. Tourism Minister Ed Bartlett said graphic details of crime in Jamaica can destroy all the gains that have been made in the tourism sector in recent years. He said, "No one wants to wake up and see a front page story in our newspapers stating Jamaica bleeds." Vashon Brown for All Angles.
Thank you so much, Vashon. And remember, you can tweet. Let's ask you to use the hashtag TVJ All Angles. That's TVJ All Angles. Okay, so let's get stuck in. And the video of the moment, the Alkaline After All video. Agostina Pinnock, let me start with you. Is the video objectionable to your mind?
Wow. I feel like objectionable probably is not how I would want to necessarily begin the conversation. You know, like, when you invited me to come on, one of the things that I kept thinking about was what exactly is the message that Alkaline is trying to disseminate or transmit in this video. And when I looked at it, you know, I thought, you know, there's some images in it that I find a little troubling. Like, I feel like there's a certain kind of nihilism, and by that I mean, you know, this sort of celebration almost of a kind of chaos and disorder and morbidity. And I feel like, you know, if that is indeed representative of how people are living, then it really is to challenge us to ask ourselves the question, what exactly is it that needs to be done in terms of a kind of intervention? So, you know, I feel like there are objectionable images in the video, but for me, I want to go a little further to ask the question of what else is it that's going on here, and what is the opportunity that it presents for a certain kind of dialogue that I really feel is missing. I mean, if I could, last week, you know, I was traveling via public transportation. My car was in the in the shop, and you know, I was commenting to somebody that I was on one of the buses, and I was just really distressed to hear the kinds of music that were being played, but even more than that, the kinds of people who were supporting it. In one instance, none of the people who were jumping up and carrying on in the bus were anybody over 15 years old. And it says to me that there are some values here that we need some intervention. You know, there is an opportunity for a conversation, I think, that this kind of music, this kind of video is presenting to us. And I think we can miss those opportunities if we only focus on the elements of it that make us uncomfortable. And there are elements which are decidedly, you know, a little uncomfortable, to say the least.
Colin Hines, is there necessarily wrong with videos that make us uncomfortable?
It shouldn't. The thing is, when art reflects an uncomfortable truth or reality, it makes you internalize and it makes you queasy. This video, it really is make-believe, like a movie, but it's a reflection of somebody's reality. It perhaps is a reflection of the life that somebody lives in Jamaica. It is unapologetically raw. It is what it is. And I think it makes people uncomfortable. But it is, at the end of the day, like a movie, a piece of art, which reflects something that the artist either wrote a song about and made a video to reflect the essence of that song. And that's all it really and truly is. I don't know that the video floats any particular social rules or any morals. I think I felt the same way when I saw Junior Gong's Welcome to Jamrock. Initially, I was like, oh, geez, what's that? You watch it again and you're like, this actually is reflecting something which is truthful, but it's the kind of truth that makes you uncomfortable.
Kamal Banki.
Controversial. That's really what it is. And
describe for our viewers, if you would, in a sentence or two, though, what it's about and why you say it's controversial.
Well, I mean, there are themes in the video that, you know, are contrary to a lot of societal norms. You know, one of the main things you see in the theme is violence. You also see things like loyalty. You see the whole idea of being a turncoat. And then, of course, it's portrayed in very, very graphic terms. So the graphic nature of it is what, you know, fuels the controversy, in my opinion. And, of course...
What do you call very graphic terms?
Meaning that
the sex depiction, or is it the gunfight? Because there isn't, when I heard people talking about initially, I thought I was going to say all kinds of bloody images and pieces blowing up and things, and thank God that's not there.
Right, no, but I think both. I mean, the thing about it, you know, is that with where media is nowadays, these videos go straight to the internet, and, you know, based on that audience, you will see it. You will see whatever is shot. A video that is trying to be, you know, geared towards regular traditional television would have to be a little bit more careful about what they're actually showing, the themes. Because, of course, TV runs, you know, all sorts of times of day. When you're on YouTube, obviously, persons under a certain age have to verify their age, whether or not it can be flouted or not, I can't say. But the reality is that in today's social media landscape, that is how this video was created. It was created very much to have that audience, which is very international, not only appealing to local viewers, local fans, or whatever, and it was designed to breed controversy. The fact that we're here speaking about it feeds into that.
Right, right. Is it, though, as Augustine Pinnacle was saying, because there's been a lot of distress, a lot of concern, people saying, look, they've gone too far, have they?
All right, so I would put it to you like this. There are a couple of lines that you may want to consider whether it crossed or not. So you say to yourself, has it gone further than the movies go? Definitely not. So it hasn't gone further than movies, and even Jamaican-style movies have actually been portraying in the past. No, it hasn't. movies like Shutters and, you know, all different kinds of things. Those things are way more graphic than this video. But sometimes people don't necessarily understand the differentiation between a music video and a movie, which is where I think a lot of work needs to be done. Whether it is that the producer or the artist needs to say, well, you know, this is a short film. Because a lot of the times when they're producing a music video, you find that, you know, sometimes it might be a depiction of their true life. They blur the lines a little bit, and they don't actually tell the viewers or the intended audience, well, this is non-fiction, you know, this is reality, or this is absolute fiction like a film, like a movie. In the movie genre, you know, we know what a documentary is. That's pretty much true life. Even reality TV, to some extent, is edited and doctored. So I think there's some responsibility around communicating to the viewers, well, this is actually not a true story, not true life. This is more to a film, movie.
I see Colin Hines wanted to jump in, but I'm at break. So let's go to break and we come right back and we pick up. And remember, you can tweet us, TVJ, all angles, soon come.
Nothing to me if you are free when I'm a bird, then you want to free me. After all, dog and us a weird pan a call. 4 rifle in upon a wall. On my car, drive up, pull up on foot, boys spread out like saying damn yard that I rode like dog. Yeah, we are go hard, This is for bread that you must mad, that I could don't do a mag. Ooh, and I like,